this could be it. This could be the moment of glory. Make money on Slurf and then buy TRVL. That's the plan. Make money elsewhere and bring it to TRVL. All right, so looking at TRVL, quickly, we had a weekly close. What does a weekly close look like? Oh God, it's unfortunately we have a pretty miserable weekly close. There's only one good sign of hope in this weekly close, only one. The rest is pretty miserable. We had increasing volume. I see that increasing volume. The price is barely flinched, you know, and you have a larger buying tail underneath. These, when you have large buying tails underneath, it means there's a lot of buying here. There's a lot of buying happening here. It's just not enough to keep the price higher than the previous levels. Okay, so we still we still have to see what happens. When it comes to the lows, this is the low. I think if anyone is bullish on this project, let's just defend that low, and the rest will happen in time with Bitcoin. Yeah, I can't shape this chart. A lot of people are criticizing me. I get it all the time. I don't know why, because I'm pretty objective in the way I approach the charts. But a friend of mine, he was like, no point doing technical analysis on a very illiquid market like TRVL. Anyone with 10 to 20k can injection can make any size candle anytime. Yeah, like all this kind of negative energy that I get back from certain people. I just want to prove them wrong, and I want them to shut up. Really, the only way to shut these people up is by them being wrong, and even then they'll probably won't shut up, because you can never shut people like that up, honestly. They're just perpetually negative, and one thing I'm not is negative. I'm extremely positive about crypto and about TRVL, and I'm positive about a lot of other tokens, not just TRVL. And a lot of tokens are showing bearish structures and kind of looking really bearish. I'm still bullish on them. TRVL continues to hold our major fib line, and you have to take that, and you can't just ignore that. Yeah, it's so bizarre, because people are looking at the candles, weekly candles, are going, they look how bearish this looks, but look how many weeks we've been unable to close under the 236, which is at 5.6 cents. We've been unable to close. So while I'm looking at this candle and going, wait a minute, this is a little bit bearish, because we've closed underneath the previous week and the previous week low. Yeah, we haven't actually managed to close underneath the line that really matters, which is this higher time frame fib level. So it doesn't really matter about the injection of volume, whether 20 or 30k can push the price around. The reality is that I'm looking at weekly time frame candles. Yeah, it's not a small amount of volume. You know, when I'm looking at Bybit in the previous week, I'm seeing 23 million volume. Yeah, that's not a small amount of volume compared to the number of tokens in circulation. Yeah, and so now when I'm looking at it, I'm saying, well, someone might be bearish because they're seeing red candles, whatever weekly structure that's looking to fall. Like I can see what they're imagining. They're imagining this is going to fall. But at the moment, we're still holding this line in the sand, this 236, that 5.6 cents. Look, you see how many weeks? 1, 2, 3 weeks the price has tried to get through that line and failed. For 3 weeks, it's been holding as support. And on Bybit, we're making higher lows too. Okay, and with increasing volume, the price has been unable to break that level. So I can clearly see that there's a lot of buying going on here. They're selling too, but there's a lot of buying going on as well. Okay, so as long as we don't lose levels, I'm not going to be bearish. I refuse to be bearish. It's just wrong. It's just not the right way to approach the markets. When you're holding support, why would you get bearish? Lose support, back test it, okay, then you can say things have changed. Okay, and that's the problem. The problem is if you lose support and then you back test it, not only will it take 1 or 2 weeks or more, if you lose support, your price is down at 40. You don't want to just sell at 4 cents. Then you have to come back and see what happens. Do people sell into that, or do you end up with some kind of another fake out, another failed auction, the final shakeout where people like my friend or other people are so depressed and so negative and so bearish that they sell, and then the price then finally explodes to my higher targets, to my higher time frame targets. I don't know. I can't predict that. I think we're holding support. I don't mind that we're holding support. I didn't want it to be a green candle today, this week, and it wasn't. So I was okay with that. I didn't really want to print a green candle here, because that would be a weak bullish attempt to take the price back up. Instead, we have a weak bearish attempt to take the price back, to take the price down. So for me, this is actually not bad. It doesn't kind of confirm my idea that the previous week was actually bullish, because then I would have hoped for slightly higher, a slightly weaker red candle. But we are still seeing quite a lot of aggressive selling, quite a lot of strength. And so right now it's a real battle between the bulls and the bears, massive battle. We've lost this kind of dividing line here. You can see it's like a weekly level. And I don't know what's going to happen this week. If Bitcoin starts pulling back, are people going to continue selling, or are people going to see this as the final opportunity to buy this token? I hope the latter. I hope that people see that this pullback on Bitcoin is potentially the final correction before Bitcoin explodes. And this week could be the final moment that people finally pick up this token at such low prices. It is a liquid right now. That's true. You can move these candles. You can print these candles. That's true. Yeah. But that's why it's a good time to accumulate, because it's better to move it 10% or 5% here from like 5.7 to 6 or 5.7 to 6.5, then try and fill in a big bag higher up where you'll be moving it from 17 to 28 or something like that, something crazy. Yeah, it's definitely better to move the price around here and push it up here than where people are selling, then up further higher up where people aren't selling, and that's the thing. If people are selling now, good, let them sell. We can buy and not move the price. We can fill our bags to the max. We can pack them out, and then in the future when people start buying, they'll be like, damn, no one's selling, and the price suddenly rockets higher and higher and higher, and then eventually we'll get to the higher prices. The other thing to bear in mind is that the narrative for the summer could be, we could have a massive AI narrative. Okay, so I do keep an eye on other people's Twitters. So Crypto Tony, I'm not particularly fond of him. Doesn't matter. He still says some good stuff sometimes. This one is a good one. I will take profit this cycle. Screenshot that, etch that into your brain. But he does say some good things sometimes. Hey, look, this is the one. AI season fast approaches. This is him, not me. We'll share a few of his hottest picks today. Whatever. Look, Fetch, Render, Ocean, GRT, Injective, TAO, Ajax. Well, for Fetch, Ocean, and Ajax are merging. There's going to be one big, massive, mega token for AI. And I've already said this before. Dtravel and TRVL are looking to partner with an unknown entity in AI. Okay, you can do the math and figure it out for yourselves if you want. That's all I can say. And So that's going to be a big deal, you know, that's going to be a big deal. So let's see what happens, you know, let's see what, is that a sell the news event? No, I don't think so. Because when you're looking at these other kind of, like, look at Fetch. Yeah. Look at Fetch. There it is. Shoot, it's in my list. Let me have a look. And, you know, Fetch, of course, you know, TRVL is not Fetch. You know, no one's, I'm not pretending that it is. Yeah. But the narrative is what's important. Think about the narrative. And when you look at Fetch from this year, from last year, October, it's already up 4,419%, like a 44x. Look how much it's gone up in value just from, oh, sorry, that's 22, my bad. This is October. Let's go to from October here. So it's already up about 10x or so, 1,000%. Yeah. It hasn't really had much of a pullback. See that? It's pretty bullish correction. Extremely bullish, Fetches, by the way. If anyone's interested. This is probably still in the wave 3. Just looking at it right now. Just updating my ideas as we speak. And potentially, you know, like AI, the AI narrative is very sticky. It's very persistent. And once people catch a hold of that idea of AI, once people start to see the future of the projects and how AI is going to fashion the future, they don't fade on their tokens. They keep on buying, basically. And so this I think a lot of people don't realize how powerful the narrative could be for TRVL in the future. And there's been up till now, there hasn't been much marketing on Dtravel's AI narrative. And the main reason why, I mean, people might be asking why not? Why hasn't it happened yet? Well, it's a good thing that it hasn't happened yet, because it means that you can buy it cheap and you can ride that bull, you can ride that wave. Okay? So don't worry about that. Don't be upset that it hasn't happened yet. It's actually a good thing. But when you look at the app that's been launched, but this is a version 0, and it's literally version 0. So what you have to imagine about versions, it's beta. It hasn't been, it's a soft launch. It's a very soft launch, only really to the Dtravel community, not really to the wider public. You see, look, AI search. Let's see how that develops. Yeah, because is this the final product? Hell no. This is the beginning, not the end. This is the start of a long line of string. This is not the end of the string. This is the beginning of the string. Yeah. So let's just see how that develops. I imagine a future where this AI search engine will be your AI assistant, where you'll basically it'll book your holiday, flights, itinerary, activities, everything, all in one. Bam. And I know a lot of people, a lot of families spend a lot of time searching and developing itineraries, and some people go to travel agencies to do it for them. But here, I think Dtravel has an amazing opportunity to begin something that could end up in an AI assistant, which basically searches for books, itineraries, your whole holiday based on your preferences, which is a learning tool as well. And I think that will save a lot of people a lot of time, and I think it'll be quite popular once that takes off. You know, people will be like, I just want to have a really nice holiday to Cancun with my family, put in, you know, between these dates, and it will know. It will just do it. It will just do the whole thing for you. It will find you the cheapest flights. It will find you the best accommodation for the best prices, etc., etc. That's going to be a much bigger platform than just direct bookings through short vacation rentals. Eventually, that's going to end up with flights, hotels, activities. Yeah, that could be the future of Dtravel. Dtravel has a wide net in the brand that it's developing. Yeah, and so that's what you have to bear in mind. This is decentralized travel. This is the beginning, not the end, right? And so that AI narrative could be quite a big deal. And I don't think once people get a hold of that narrative and that idea, then I think we're going to be seeing high prices very quickly. And I don't think it will come back down. Honestly, I don't think it will come back down. Not very quickly. And I think the problem is, it's not a problem really. I think no one really knows. Like Dtravel, like it's so bizarre for me that people don't know about Dtravel, because it's so easy to find and it's so easy to like read and look up. What is this one? We're proving that you can distribute vacation rental listings without costly API connections. Not only is this revolutionary, it's one of the many innovations that will come from the Night protocol. Absolutely. Look at that. This is exactly right. Look at this. See, AI, it's the same thing. Look at that, 1,925 results. See, so we're growing. Dtravel is growing. These are all direct bookings. These are all direct sites. So just don't fade on that. This week is really important for TRVL. Yeah. Let's end up with a bullish week if we can. Like, let's not fade on this. Let's prove all the critics wrong. And what's interesting, and so I've been chatting to different people, bullish people and bearish people. I mean, I chat to everyone really, unless they block me. And then we stop chatting. Doesn't happen often. But when you're looking at the monthly candle now, look at this monthly candle. If we close back at 9 cents or even just underneath, anywhere in the highs, how bullish is that going to look? Like, I'm just asking you to imagine the future of this chart. Yeah. And that's basically the feedback that I'm getting from other people on their own technical analysis. So I've been chatting to El Famaso Professor from Twitter, and he says to quit accumulation, we need to be above 9 cents in 26 days. He said that a couple of days ago. And then the monthly chart will look amazing. And then I think that's the challenge now for the bulls. We need to get above 9 cents. We need to basically get back above that monthly level. So there is a monthly level there. We need to steam through that monthly level and basically close back into that wick, into this wick here. See that wick? If you end up with a monthly candle that closes like that, oops, can't draw it. Let me do it like this. I'll do it slightly differently. No, that didn't work. Let me try and do it slightly differently so it looks nice. There you go. I'm just trying to get people to imagine what the future. Oh God. I'm going to draw in this a little bit. Why is it going in stages? So no. Can you imagine? Yeah, that's good. This is obviously closing much higher. The guy that I was chatting to was saying like there. So closing like roughly there, just above the previous month high. So effectively creating a bullish engulfing candle on the previous month and closing the previous month at about 9, something like that. Then you basically have one whole month red candle as an order block. The price could nicely, if it wants to, it can retrace whatever, and it will be an explosive move to the upside. That's really what I'm would love to see. Okay, so why not? If Bitcoin bottoms out, which we're kind of potentially hoping for in the next week, because we've just had a V-shaped recovery on Bitcoin, all we're looking for now is a little kind of a week of pullbacks, as long as we don't lose the low of the V shape, then Bitcoin is good to go for the highs, for the all-time highs. That's what I'm seeing in the Bitcoin charts. If Bitcoin's V-shaped recovery holds probably at about 50% at the very max, then we're heading for the all-time highs. Why shouldn't by the end of the month TRVL not create this kind of candle, maybe more, okay? And the higher the better. Like, that's what you really want to see now. This month, the higher the better. The higher we can go, the better. And ideally, you also, and I don't think people understand how important these wicks are. You ideally want a wick as well. When you get these wicks, it means that profit was taken within the context of the candle that's been printed. And so when you're going up, it's always good to have wicks as well. All right. So that's kind of what I would, let's see what happens. I can't predict the future, but I can see that there's still buying. You can see the volume in the buying here. It's not bad. And as long as now we just have continuous defending of the lows, the low I've already explained to everyone, this is the low. Okay. I don't really care what happens in the next week, as long as we can defend that low. That's going to look extremely bullish. It's going to be a higher low. If we close the week above my major fib levels, I'm okay too. I'm okay. Even if worst case scenario we were to go down and close back up there, I'd still be okay. It would be a lower low there, but then the onus would be on the bulls to go all the way back up to there. And so that's what we would want to see. So worst case scenario, even if we were to go down and bounce back up and close above the same level, then we had a massive rally. Then the target would be to go straight from a lower low to a higher high, and that would be just as fine. That would be okay too. Yeah, that would not be a problem, because then bullish market structure continues. Yeah, if you put in a lower low, you still have to go and put in a lower high and make a lower low to change market structure. Just by putting a lower low doesn't change market structure, but it just means that the bulls have more work, because now they have to go up and take out that high. That's like a prerequisite. Anything else in between won't matter. And so therefore, if you do put in a higher low, it would definitely be better, because it just shows that there's so much demand at these prices that the price was unable to make a lower low. So I think it's always better to put in a higher low. We can defend this level and not put in a lower low, even if it's by a dollar. I don't care. Not a dollar, whatever, a cent or a quarter of a cent or whatever it is. And then we can with Bitcoin pump out of these lows, create an extremely bullish monthly candle, and then hopefully the next month with the AI summer, we can expand all the way to higher prices. Okay, that's kind of what I would like to see, and then we'll see what happens. And honestly, I'm buying every day now. Like I'm helping everyone else. I'm defending these lows. We all have our part to play in this kind of objective. That's TRVL. If anyone hasn't heard of TRVL, that's fine. Just go onto my Twitter, go onto my YouTube. I've got on the top of my Twitter, there's my link. I've got this thread which I've created only a few days ago. Just have a read of that. There's lots of links. I go through it bit by bit based on my own experiences, and I give you reasons why I think this is bullish, and why I think this is a long hold, and why I think we're going to see higher prices, and why I think we can do really well. You know, like anyone who's investing in this is going to do really well in the future. I'm basically telling you this at the beginning of this move, not at the end. You know, like if I was now telling you this has already gone up 10,000% or whatever, and I still start telling you this is good, it would be on a much higher time frame, not on the local time frame. Right now it's on a higher time frame. This is good, but on the local time frame, it's looking good. Yeah. But on the higher time frame, obviously when we get to higher prices, I'm targeting $5.1. But there's no reason why we don't go higher. Absolutely no reason why. And at the end of the day, that's going to be down to the hype, the narrative, the hype. Airbnb killer is going to be a big one. And they're already planning that kind of marketing narrative, but it has to be timed correctly. It has to be timed in all season, and then everything has to be working and ready. You know, like the search engine, the AI assistant, the integration with Travel, the tokenomics has to be done and dusted and ready, like working. And then obviously we're gonna have all of Boostly's listings on from using the night protocol. That has to be where a lot of things have to be ready before that happens. I don't see why we don't go to higher prices in that moment. And if Bitcoin is able to do higher prices in some kind of crazy mega parabolic rally, then trust me, you're going to see a lot of these coins that haven't run yet. This hasn't run yet. This has never run in terms of Bitcoin bull market run, like a bull run. This hasn't run. So you're going to see a lot of these coins which haven't run start running and running and running and running and running and running. And actually what's interesting is that people who missed out at the beginning and they start feeling so FOMO-ish at the end when they start seeing the price go from $2 to $5 to $9 to $20 to you know, people start FOMOing in. That's what they do. People love to FOMO in at the highs, and so I wouldn't be surprised if we see high numbers. But I mean, I can't predict that. I think just in the trade idea that I presented to everyone the other day, it was a very conservative trade idea, and I think for all intents and purposes, most people should just stick to their original trade plan, but just be aware that I think it's possible that a token like this could overextend, and you want to have some kind of some juice if that happens. You want to have some skin in the game if that happens. According to my idea, if you get back into the all-time high at 1.56, that's definitely on the table, and basically that's what the trade would look like. That's a 1 to 40 trade. You see, risk to reward ratio 40. So you risk 1 and you could get 40. You risk £1, you get £40. You risk $1,000, you can get $40,000. $1,000 is not buying $1,000 here, it's a risk. So by the time, let's say you bought your position here, if the price was to go down to this level here, you have to lose $1,000. That's a loss of $1,000 in the move from there to there. You lose $1,000. That's the risk. It's not like buying $1,000. You want to calculate how much you need to buy, then you need to calculate it based on this thing. Let me have a look. 100%, yeah. So your account size is 1,000. You're risking 100%. Okay. According to this, your exit price is 1.56. Okay. Your stop loss is basically underneath the all-time low. Right. So according to this, you need to buy 26,000 TRVL. 26,336 TRVL. According to that. So if you buy 26,336 TRVL, how much is that at the current price? Let me just work it out. It's $1,536. Okay. If the price of TRVL goes from the current price to 1.9 cents, you'll lose $1,000. That's the loss. But then the gain is the 40x. Yeah. So you buy $1,536 worth of TRVL now. By the all-time high, your account value will be $40,000. Okay, that's how it works. So I've just calculated it for you. A $1,500 buy here at the all-time high would equate to $40,000. I'm expecting that as a conservative target in the context of everything that's being developed and the Bitcoin bull market. All right. So just bear that in mind. It's just good information if you haven't worked it out. I'm not saying you shouldn't take profit in between. You should always take profit if you feel that the money is substantial for you. Yeah, if you feel that, wow, I've really come into money now. This is going to make a big change in my life, a massive change, a massive tangible change in my life. Take your profit. Take your profit. Yeah, and that's really the rule when it comes to taking profit on a higher time frame in the context of a crypto market. Don't be greedy. If you see that the value of increase is going to make a massive change in your life, tangible change in your life, whether it's just buying a car or a laptop or a house or paying off debts or taking the next level or taking a step up in life, then take your profits and don't put that money back in crypto, and don't be too greedy, but also have a little bit to run just in case you see higher prices so you don't FOMO back in. And that's basically the rule of crypto. That's the rule of anything really, but crypto especially, because crypto is so volatile. When you see extended prices to the upside, you can also lose the value very quickly as well. So just bear that in mind. And I think this is a pretty good plan. Like, I think this is a really good trade plan. Not financial advice. Yeah. This and everything has to do with Bitcoin too. Right now, I'm looking for a corrective move on Bitcoin. So hopefully a little bounce. I'm expecting that to be sold into. And hopefully we're going to have a little bit of a correction now in Bitcoin, which is going to translate to literally the best opportunity for people to scale into their altcoins. Literally, you don't have to always catch the peak or bottom. You can just scale into the first major pullback after a massive V-shaped recovery on Bitcoin. That's what's happening right now on Bitcoin. And I think people who are bullish on travel, the higher that we can take the price, the higher that the price will go. It's just the way it works. The psychology of the market is so bizarre that they always buy into higher prices. They don't necessarily look like, I mean, I'm having arguments and conversations with my friends. I'm looking at the monthly candle and I see how the monthly candle on KuCoin, for example, has closed perfectly above the previous month high. You see that? I think that's bullish. I think that's like a bullish back test. Yeah, I don't see that as bearish. I see that as bullish, you know, and it's hard to explain people these ideas. And so naturally let the price go up, and then they'll finally, hopefully they'll tell you, okay, maybe you were right, and they'll start paying attention. Let's see what happens. That's TRVL. I'm not suggesting people go all in. I mean, why not go all in if you want to, but there's lots of other good coins that I've been looking at, and if anyone has any interested coins, I'm happy to look at them. I know that